Hey Designerdz, it's Devan. Today I want to talk to you guys about some of the most popular applications that most graphic designers use to do all the magic designating. So to start off, obviously one of the biggest companies out there that provides the most applications for designers to use is Adobe. They have an option where you can go online and you get a subscription that is monthly, and you pay for a monthly subscription to download all of their applications that you want to be using, which is actually a really nice feature. You pay a monthly subscription fee and it's less of a headache to try to stay updated with your software. So when I was in school, we had to buy the actual software as a CD-ROM, and you had to put it in your computer and download it and all of that stuff. And you pay like $800 to $2,000 or more for these discs so you could have the entire creative suite. It was cheaper when you were a college student, but once you weren't, you had to pay full price, and it was a little bit pricey to have to make sure that you were always with the latest software. And getting design jobs was always tricky because you're dealing with like being outdated in your software and files not being able to be transferred to other designers and things like that. Nowadays, we are able to download and update the downloads that we have as long as we keep up with our subscription. Adobe Illustrator is probably the one application that I use the most. It is more of a vector creation application. So basically what you do is when you see illustrative work, very similar to like logos or icons, things like that, they tend to be done in Adobe Illustrator. Illustrator is where you can kind of mesh text and creation of illustrations by creating like shapes and different types of vectors and stuff to put together. And there's also different types of techniques that you can use, like brush strokes and things like that, to have more of an illustrative effect. You can do quite a bit with it actually. So Adobe Illustrator tends to be my like #1 app that I personally go to a lot. I love it. Like, I feel like I can pretty much do anything in it. Some of the newer updates that they've had, you're actually able to do like multiple spreads of pages, which you used to only have one page as an option, and now you can do multiple pages. But there's ways to go around and adjust like what order the artboards go in, because sometimes I know a lot of people complain about putting an artboard up and realizing they're missing an artboard in between. And so if you are able to like adjust your artboard and what order they go into, it makes it a lot easier. You can save graphics in Illustrator for web. You can do like transparent backgrounds. If you do a PNG file, you can do PDFs. Like, it has a lot of options, and it's one that most designers I think always tend to use. It's a pretty popular program for graphic design specifically. The #2 application that a lot of people use is Photoshop. Photoshop is exactly that. If you hear people say, "Oh, she looks Photoshop," you're able to manipulate photos. So unlike some of the photography editing apps would be things like Lightroom, After Effects, Premiere Pro, things like that for video and film, I think with those applications you're looking more at like actually adjusting the image in an artistic way, where it's bringing out lighting or changing color effects, things like that. Whereas in Photoshop, you're actually able to edit and adjust the image. So if you want to put a picture of your boyfriend in a different background, or change the blemishes on someone's face, you can edit those in Photoshop. Scan in a photograph from like your grandma or something, and there's a bunch of cracks and wrinkles in the photograph, you can actually go in Photoshop and adjust those. So basically it's like blemish free. So Photoshop is more of a photo editing app for manipulation of stuff. You can also add text and things like that. A lot of people tend to design in Photoshop. I personally don't enjoy it as much. There are a lot of benefits to it too, but that's Photoshop. The third application that a lot of designers use is InDesign. InDesign is, I want to say, like the grandchild to an application from my day. Real old school for you guys. Quark Express, anyone? InDesign is a publication page layout type of application. The idea with InDesign is that you're basically trying to create some form of spreads. So if you're going to create like a multiple paged document, like a book or a magazine, or you're going to have lots of spreads, a lot of continuous like headers and footers and things like that, where you want to have like a really well thought out publication design, you're going to use something like InDesign for that. InDesign has the ability to package your files and send it, just like perfectly package it in a way that when you give it to your printer, they're going to be like, yes, this is perfect. I have all the things I need, and they're like ready to go. All the fonts and everything get packaged automatically. All the images and links to everything automatically get packaged. and it's a really cool way to easily give your publication or book or whatever you're doing to a printer. And last but not least, Adobe Acrobat. It's just a useful tool. It's not really something I use to like design in or anything like that, but it is an application that I use a lot, so I didn't want to forget about it. There are so many ways you can use Acrobat to kind of like adjust your files, make them sendable to other people and clients for previews and all kinds of stuff. So it's nothing special, but it's definitely an application that designers use, so I thought I'd bring it up as well. So the list of Adobe applications is so long. There are so many options out there. And if you're like a user experience designer like I am as well, there is now the application Xd, which allows you to create like mock-ups and wireframes and stuff in this kind of mobile web app style. It's definitely something that, because user experience design and user interface design has become so much more needed with mobile devices and everything, it's a new application that Adobe has seen to be a necessary need. So they filled that niche with that. So I want to know, what did you start out using first? If you're a designer, what application did you start with? And if you're just starting or you're more self-taught, what application has you going, hell no? I want to know what apps you're using, what you love, what you hate, and just let me know. Put in the comments below what you think, and I'd love to hear what you guys are doing and what you're using. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed watching it and getting my like little insight on what graphic designers use for graphic design. Also, if you have any other ideas for videos of topics you'd like me to talk about or anything, leave comments below and let me know. As always, please remember to like this video, share it, comment below, let me know that you're here and you're watching it, that you enjoyed it, that you hated it, whatever. Just let me know. Click on the little bell icon to the right of the subscription button, and that way when I post a new video, you'll get a notification that lets you know that I have a new video up for you to look at. Again, thanks for watching. Until next time.